Namaste. Good evening, good morning. My salutations to all. Welcome back to Ramayana Reflection series. And we were discussing Balakanda. Today is session 3. And today we will see an important topic. Who is that ideal human being? That is what we are going to see. We are going to see that in detail. And we are going to discuss this based on Valmiki Ramayana. So without any delay, let's get started. So in the first week, what we have seen is the sacred beginning of the Ramayana. In fact, the beginning of the Ramayana is not a conventional Mangala Shloka, but a description of Maharshi Valmiki approaching Maharshi Narada. So if you remember, we discussed the fact that Maharshi Valmiki was a little bit confused about who is that ideal human being. He thought that it is Rama, but certain actions of Rama put some doubt on the Maharshi's mind, because you need to understand that Mother Sita is now living in Valmiki's ashram. So that is what created some confusion in his mind, that a person who can renounce his wife, how can he be the best human being? How can he be called as the Maryada Purushottama? Because of that doubt, he approached sage Narada and asked a question in a very humble manner. Narada is described as somebody who is capable of answering this question. He is tapas swadhyaya niradam, and he is committed in tapas and swadhyaya, and he is one of the wisest sages or the Maharshis, and walk with Varaha. He knows he is the master of communication. To that Narada, Maharshi Valmiki humbly asked the question. That was the first lesson. And in the second lesson, we saw what exactly was Valmiki's questions. Valmiki's question was not a simple question. He asked Narada, if there is a person in this world, Asmin Loki, and now Sampratam, he was not interested to hear a story of a celestial being, and also he was not interested to hear a story of a person who lived 5,000 years back. He wanted to understand in the contemporary world, in the contemporary time, is there a human being who has all the 16 noble qualities? These 16 noble qualities were carefully selected that covers almost every value that described in the scriptures, as well as accepted by the society as the noble values. So these 16 qualities were enumerated, ranging from virtue to courage, self-awareness, fearlessness. These qualities are not theoretical, but practical and actionable. And these values are relevant even today. So we spent that last week's whole discussion in deep diving into each of these 16 qualities. And this 16 qualities serves as a blueprint for personal growth and ethical living. This is the beauty of Ramayana, because this is how the Ramayana becomes even relevant today. What is asked by Valmiki to Narada is even relevant today. So now let's see what was Narada's reply. So when Valmiki asked this question, that created a great joy in the mind of Maharshi Narada, and he started replying. So this is what is covered from the shloka 7 to 19. So Narada's question meaning answer is from 7 to 19. So let's see that. Let's listen to the chanting first, and then we will deep dive into the actual messages.
श्रुत्वा चैतत्त्रिलोकज्ञो वाल्मीकिर्नारदो वचः श्रूयतामिति चामन्त्र्य प्रहृष्टो वाक्यमब्रवीत्। बहवो दुर्लभाश्चैव ये त्वया कीर्तिता गुणाः मुने वक्ष्याम्यहं बुद्ध्वा तैर्युक्तः श्रूयतान् नरः। इक्ष्वाकुवंशप्रभवो रामो नाम जनैः श्रुतः नियतात्मा महावीर्यो द्युतिमान् धृतिमान् वशी। बुद्धिमान् नीतिमान् वाग्मी श्रीमान् शत्रुनिबर्हणः विपुलांसो महाबाहुः कम्बुग्रीवो महाहनुः। महोरस्को महेश्वासो गूढजत्रुररिन्दमः आजानुबाहुः सुशिराः सुललाटः सुविक्रमः। समसमविभक्ताङ्गः स्निग्धवर्णः प्रतापवान् पीनवक्षा विशालाक्षो लक्ष्मीवान् शुभलक्षणः। धर्मज्ञः सत्यसन्धश्च प्रजानां च हिते रतः यशस्वी ज्ञानसम्पन्नः शुचिर्वस्य समाधिमान्। प्रजापतिसमश्रीमान् धाता रिपुनिषूदनः रक्षिता जीवलोकस्य धर्मस्य परिरक्षिता। रक्षिता स्वस्य धर्मस्य स्वजनस्य च रक्षिता। वेदवेदाङ्गतत्त्वज्ञो धनुर्वेदे च निष्ठितः सर्वशास्त्रार्थतत्त्वज्ञः स्मृतिमान् प्रतिभानवान् सर्वलोकप्रियः साधुः अदीनात्मा विचक्षणः। सर्वदाभिगतः सद्भिः समुद्र इव सिन्धुभिः आर्यः सर्वसमश्चैव सदैकप्रियदर्शनः। स च सर्वगुणोपेतः कौसल्यानन्दवर्धनः समुद्र इव गाम्भीर्ये धैर्येण हिमवानिव। विष्णुना सदृशो वीर्ये सोमवत्प्रियदर्शनः कालाग्निसदृशः क्रोधे क्षमया पृथिवी समः धनदेन समस्त्यागे सत्ये धर्मयिवापरः.
So these are the shlokas. Now we will go back and we will see what exactly each shloka means. So Valmiki asked the question to Narada, who is that ideal human being? Who is that ideal human being I am looking for? Is there a person? Narada's response was, yes, there is a human being. But it is very difficult, durlabha, because you asked not just one quality, 16 qualities. There could be people with one or two qualities or a subset of qualities, but it is really hard to find one person with all these 16 qualities. But I know a person. This finding such a person is rare, yet there is one person in the contemporary world who has all these qualities. Then he said something very interesting. I speak of him. I'm going to talk about him, not from somebody, a theoretical knowledge. I am speaking after knowing the truth. And we live in a blessed era to live with this such a human being. And Valmiki was very happy to know who is that person. See, look at the way the story is developing. The commentators add a little bit more nice insights into this. So the commentator Govindaraja is from a Vishishtadvaita school, but it's a very good commentary. So his commentary, he tells a very interesting point. When Valmiki asked this question to Narada, Narada was even hearing this question, thinking about the answer of this question itself made Narada so happy, because he is going to talk about Rama. And what is the nature of Rama? Ramante iti Rama. The moment he was about to speak Rama, that itself gave him so much of joy. So the commentator tells, it's like when you enjoy a nice food, like a sweet is given to you by somebody so dear to you. What do? You just put that in your mouth, experience that sweetness, then say, okay, it's fantastic. So like the same example the commentator uses. So Narada, take a minute. He mentally cherishes that beauty of Rama, and that brought a beautiful smile on his face. With that smile, with that joy, he started speaking about Rama. This is the beauty of Rama. So now let's see one by one. So the first point is, I wanted to go back. So he said, Bahavo durlabhos chaiva. Whatever you asked is durlabha. But I am going to talk to you. I just wanted to point out two things here, because Ramayana, every shloka is a life lesson. The first point Narada is telling, I am going to talk about Vakshyamyaham bhuttva. I am going to talk about him with proper knowledge. So we need to understand a lesson. We talk about so many things about so many people. Are we talking without verifying the fact? This is what the commentators point out on this shloka. So Narada, being the Vak Vidam Varaha, he highlights that for our benefit. When you talk about somebody, we all make opinions without any, like, I hear something from YouTube or Facebook, and then I started communicating that to everyone without verifying the facts. So when you talk about somebody, when you talk authentically, make sure that it is verified. You cannot just talk because without any substantial validation. Otherwise, it should be a casual conversation. But people talk about something as pramanikya without verifying it. So that's point number one. Second number one is he calls the attention. Maharshi, you have to listen. So, shruyatam, listen carefully. So these 2 points I just wanted to highlight on this shloka. And now Narada introduces Rama for the first time. So in shloka 8. So shloka 8, Narada introduces Rama. Beautifully. How he said this shloka is very famous. Everybody quotes this. Ikshwaku vamsha prabhavo Ramo nama janaishrudaha niyatatma mahaviryu dutiman tritiman vashi. With one shloka, he brilliantly paints Rama. What is the first thing? He starts with the lineage. He's from the lineage of Ikshwaku. Ikshwaku's lineage is in ancient India, or it is believed that there are two major lineage. One is Chandravamsha, the other one is Suryavamsha. And Rama belongs to that Suryavamsha because his ancestors were famous. So he came from like a family who produced great human being. But that's not what is the greatness of Rama. That is just history. Then he tells, see, Narada or Vatmiki never gives any benefit because of the lineage. Lineage is just for our information. But then he tells, Ramo nama janaishrudaha. His name is Rama. What is the meaning of the word Rama? Ramante iti Rama. Ramante iti Rama means the one who gives joy to all. Rama as a ruler, by proper ruling of the kingdom, he made everybody happy. Rama as a human being made everybody happy, whoever approaches him. And the third thing is what Rama? Ramante iti Rama. Rama himself is always happy because he is always established in his true self or the Atma. So he don't need anything. Even when he was going through the most miserable time, he kept his inner purity, inner happiness always. So to that is the Rama. His name, sometimes what happens? Sometimes the name and the person doesn't match. Here, 100%. Rama's name is 100% suitable for that particular person. Not just that. Janaishrudaha. He's not just popular among the family. He was dear to all the subjects, all the people. Everybody loved him. You know that in Ramayana, when Rama was about to go to forest, the entire Ayodhya was going after him. He was that much like priya for everyone. Then what? Niyata Atma. He is 100% self-controlled. Niyata means he is definite control over himself. Under any circumstances, he will not lose control. Even if he gets angry, it is his choice. He is always in control. Niyatatma. Then what? Mahaviryu. He is greatly courageous. Virya here not just mean courage. The ability to do what needs to be done is Virya. He has that ability to do what needs to be done. And Dyutiman, he has that radiance, that type of glow. Glow means because of that inner beauty, he has radiated that power to other people. Dhritiman. Dhritiman means what? The one with fortitude. Like he cannot be shaken. He will continue his path. That chama, it's a very difficult word in Sanskrit, dhriti. In regional language, sometimes dhriti means it is go faster. That's not the meaning here. Here, dhriti means it is that ability to withstand, continue, and proceed in your path. And then Vashi. Vashi means he is the master of his sense organs, complete mastery of the sense organs. So Narada enumerating Rama's quality. So let's continue. Then he tells he is Buddhiman. Buddhiman means he is intelligent, very wise. It's not mere scholarship, it is that intelligence to know what needs to be done and apply what is to be done at a given point. Then Nithiman, he's a statesman, not just an ordinary king. He gives justice to all. It doesn't matter. He won't look at people's face. He will give justice to all. Vakmi. Vakmi means he's eloquent, fluent. He can communicate very well. And Shriman. Shriman, he possesses all the noble qualities. And then what? He can destroy all the enemies. And then what is his physical body is described. He has a broad shoulder, mighty arms, like a cone-shaped neck, and a prominent jaw. He's physically very beautiful. Not just internally, externally also he is very beautiful. Then he said, then the next sloka is completely talking about his physical beauty. He has a broad chest, meaning there are symbolic representation for this because he can protect human being. That is the whole thing. He is armed with a great bow. He has like concealed shoulders, and he can destroy any enemies, inner or outer. His hands reach down to his like to the knees, and well-formed head and a broad forehead, and he is always valiant in his actions. An ideal human being. That is what the description is. Still he continues. Then another beautiful description. He is actually he is sama, he well proportioned, all his body is well-shaped body. That's it. Like a shining complexion. Even though it is dark, it is shining. That is what it is. Then what is going to happen? He is mighty and powerful. And his large eyes, the physical beauty, we can quickly go. And then he has prosperity, and he has all the noble traits of a good human being. I'm talking about this from experience. That is what Narada does. Then next one. Now it is becoming important. He knows dharma. He is dharmajnaha. He is well versed in dharma. And satyasandha. He keeps his word. He may lose his life, but he will keep his word. And he is always interested in the welfare of the praja. You will see this so well detailed in the Ramayana. During the Uttarakanda, when Rama was the king, there is a beautiful description of the Ramarajya. Just read it. You will see that it has almost everything. What kind of ruler he is. Right? So one interesting thing is that when he was inquiring about the kingdom, one question he asked is, how is the Charvakas doing in my country? You know who is Charvaka? Charvakas are the one people who completely objects Rama. These are the agnostic people. They reject Veda. They reject everything. They reject all the spirituality. You know the sage Maharshi Charvaka. So that kind of people. He ensured that they also have a space in the kingdom. He never believed in destroying anybody, but that inclusivity was Rama's character. So that is why he was Prajahitaha and rich in his wisdom. His wisdom was unparalleled. He was pure-hearted. And then he was attractive. And also, he was contemplative, deep contemplative. So continuing these values, then actually he is like Prajapati. Prajapati means Prajanam Prati, Ishvara. So like a creator protecting the universe, Rama protected his subjects. And then what was, he was the sustainer and meaning he was the sustainer of the Prajas, and he destroyed all these evil forces. That is Ripudanda. And then he saved, meaning safeguarded all the living beings, not just the human beings. Every living beings he protected, and he protected dharma. And just like Brahmaji was protecting the universe, Rama protected his subjects. That is the beauty of Rama. Then his duty, dharma, he like fulfilled always. This is where some people have doubt whether Rama followed dharma. So we will see that. For this, we need to understand a person has Mukhya Dharma and Gauna Dharma. So what is the Mukhya Dharma? You need to follow, even if the Gauna Dharma opposes that. So that is what? So that is why, so Sya Dharmasya Rakshitaha. So he will follow the Mukhya Dharma even if the consequences are really bad and it is the most difficult decision for him. He will follow that. That is what it is. And then protects his people because that was his number one priority. Even if he won't accept, even meaning he won't allow people to doubt him at all, even if it is false. That much he loved people. And then skilled, meaning he knows the Vedas and the Vedangas. And also he was a master of archery. That is the next one. Let's quickly continue and then we will summarize it. Then Rama was the essence of, he knows the essence of all the scriptures. And you can see this later in the Ramayana, right? So there is a Rama Gita. You see that in the Adhyatma Ramayana. You see there are so much of conversation in the Ramayana, which is pure Vedantic. So he knew all the scriptures and he has a very good memory, Smritivan, and he has a brilliant intellect. And also he was very kind-hearted. When you have that type of strength and valor and courage, people won't be like humble. You know, the strength and humility usually don't go together. So here he has that humility. And another beautiful character is, even if the adversity comes in, he won't shake. That is another thing. And he was always wise in his actions. So then he was accessible to all. Sometimes what happens? The accessibility is a problem. You cannot meet the king or anybody. That is another thing. So just like the rivers, ocean is accessible to rivers. Rama was accessible to all. And then he was noble, Arya. Please don't get confused the word Arya. Arya is not the Arya Dravida race. Absolutely not. This is very, very confusing because of the modern political system. So please, the word Arya means only Shrestha. That's it. That's what it is. And Sarvasama, he treats everybody equally. Any doubt? Went to Shabari's ashram and ate. She was biting the fruit and giving to him. When he saw Guha, what did he do? Guha was trying to prostrate him. What did he do? Hugged him. You are my brother. That is what he said. So absolutely no discrimination for Ram. And he was like pleasing to all, whoever meets. That's why Priyadarshana, that is the term used for it. Actually, the vision of Rama itself used to give beauty. And that's what I was telling. Like when Narada was thinking about him, he started smiling. That is the nature of Rama. And one thing, even in the modern world, people tell is if you continuously think about Rama and if you chant the name of Rama, you will also get that smile and happiness because it's very powerful mantra. Rama's name. One example, you will see in Rama Raksha Kavacham, Mother Parvati asked Lord Shiva, sometimes I'm not able to do all these prayers, etc., Vishnu Sahasranama and all these things. What shall I do? That is the time Lord Shiva tells her, Sri Rama Rama Rameti, Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranama Tattvavyam Ram Nama Parayana. You just do that name of Ram. That is good enough. And one more example, the beauty of Rama's name. Vatmiki is, meaning we talked about this in our introduction. Vatmiki, when he was ready to take up a spiritual path, he asked Narada, what name whom should I meditate? He said Rama. But Vatmiki said, my mind is so distracted, I may forget. So at that time, Narada said, you live here. You won't forget Mara. Mara is what? Tree. So you chant Mara, 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 Mara. What happened? That Mara turned into Rama. Rama, Rama, Rama. And that name of Rama, which is Taraka Nama, transformed a hunter into a sage. The most unprimitive hunter turned into a most refined sage. That is the power of Rama's name. Beautiful. So Valmiki knew that because it is Rama's name that transformed him, but still he was a little bit of doubt. And that is what is cleared by Narada. 3 more shloka, and then we will see the 6th theme. So then what happened? 17, he say, Rama has all these virtues and Kausalya Priyanandanaha. He always increases the joy of the mother. He was such a joy for the mother. And Samudraiva Gampirya. He possessed the depth of the ocean. Like, see, Ramayana is a Mahakavya. So when in Mahakavyas, you have to use these type of similes. So his Gampirya, his like, he is the depth of the Samudra. And then what happened? His dhairya is, the courage is like Himalaya. See, Himalaya is stern. Even if the greatest threat comes, nothing can be done about Himalaya. Himalaya won't move. So Rama was like that. 2 more shlokas. Then what happened? He is as mighty as Lord Vishnu. Vishnusya sadrishyo virya, not an ordinary virya, Vishnu. And then he is charming like moon. And when he gets angry, right, what happened? It's like Kalagni, the old destroying fire. And at the very same time, he is as patient as earth. So for the enemies, or like if he needs, it's not that he's like, Chama is like Prithvi. Earth is supposed to have the maximum patience. Whatever we do, the earth forgives us. That's what it is said. Like Bhumi is the most compassionate being. Rama is like that. But that doesn't mean that he is weak. Mahatma Gandhi said, right, the non-violence is the not the inert intellectual slave mentality. The non-violence practiced by the strong is what is making it is truly non-violent. Say, there is a fight between an ant and elephant. And if the ant says that, I forgive you, what is the value? But if the elephant says, I forgive you, that means something. That is exactly what Rama. He has that power, but he has that compassion. So Bhagavad Gita tells, Yasmano dijate loko, loka no dijate jaya. He who is not afraid of anything, and he for whom nobody needs to be afraid. That is the ideal human being. And that is what is Rama. The final shloka. So he says, so this, for charity, he is like Kubera. Kubera is the Lord of wealth. And then for Dharma, he is like the Dharmaraja. Dharmaraja means Yama. He implements all the rules in the world. And then such a valiant Rama, he is always victorious and valiant. These are more than 32 virtues was described by Narada in one flow. And this is the description of the ideal human being, Rama. And this is how Rama was introduced in the Ramayana. Now, if you look at Narada's answers, it falls into 6 dimensions of human excellence. First one is moral, ethical, dharmic leadership. If there is a leader who follows this moral, ethical, dharmic leadership, that is Rama. Second thing is what exactly makes him different? His intellectual and spiritual mastery. There are several names used to describe that. And the third one is what? Emotional mastery. Fourth one is what? Social values. Fifth one is what? His own physical beauty. And the last one is what? His human excellence. So he is excellent in his activities. He is most beautiful person. He has the social values. He has emotional mastery, intellectual mastery, spiritual mastery, dharmic mastery. These 6 dimensions is what making Rama Rama. So 6 dimensions of human excellence is enumerated by Rama, and these covers the 16 qualities asked by Valmiki beautifully. So this is a beautiful answer given by Narada. So let's take 5 minutes and quickly scan through each of these the dimensions of human excellence. The first one is ideal leader rooted in dharma. So he knows what is right from wrong, always chooses dharma over convenience. That is Ram. Second one is he never lies. His promises are unbreakable bond of trust. If Rama promises, you don't need a bond or writing anything like that. That is the second one. His words always comes true. Third one is he always used to keep his vows at any cost. For example, he exiled for 14 years to honor the word. And he is fair to all. Justice for citizens, animals, and even enemies. So one point is when Ravana was almost defeated. Rama asked him to go out of the come back next day. We are going to see the whole Ramayana is a detailing of this one. Every story you see, it can be tied back to one of these values, 32 values I dated here. Next one is what? He gets things done. Know what to do, when to do, how to do. Built Ayodhya into a Ramarajya. And he always protect the weak, defended the sages, poor, and nurture all. This is the ideal leader, dharmic leader, rooted in dharma. This is theme number 1. Second theme, I'm just dicing and slicing into modern value. So in the modern life, right, if these things are how applicable it is. I just took the first one and show how that is relevant in the modern. Dharmajna means ethical business leaders who prioritize the sustainability over the profits. That is a classic example. Then second point, truthful in speech, authentic leadership, fact-based communication in the media. This is very critical. Everybody highlights that now. Then third one is sticking to the study schedule despite of distraction. Dritav vrataha. A student, if he can do that, that quality. Then what? Judge, meaning, say, Nyaya, judges upholding fairness in corrupt systems, or HR leaders, and meaning like following fairness in workplace. Then like capable administrator, like crisis managers, example, that quality, Rama's quality. Then community builders. The problem is that these are there in small quantities in modern world, in different people. But when you combine all these things, it is very difficult to find, or almost impossible to find such a person. That's all. And that is why Rama is the ideal for every human being. So let's continue quickly. So I just wanted to give a couple of quotes also because this is so inspiring. Valmiki Ramayana tells, Rama ruled not by force, but by dharma. This is from Uttarakanda. Like, it was the wisdom. The throne was compassion, right? And the crown was, for him, the crown was service to all. This is the exact quote from Valmiki Ramayana. This is what the principles or the policy of Rama. Look at what actually the Prime Minister of New Zealand recently said. The test of leadership is not how well you wield power, but how consciously you meaning use it for the benefit of others. Don't you see that 5,000 years of quote of Rama in the modern words? The second one, President Obama used to say, like, a nation thrives when its institutions are built on justice, its policies on empathy, and empower on accountability. Don't you see the reflection of Rama's message? And Swami Chinmayananda used to say, true leadership begins not in the boardrooms, but in the quiet alignments on one-on actions with dharma. Beautiful quote from Swami Chinmayananda. These are all Rama's life. So it's very easy to say dharmam chara, but when you have somebody who lives that and an example is given to us, it communicates 10 times better. So that is the Rama as an ethical leader. Let's take 5 minutes more. Intellectual and spiritual mastery. So he was deeply learned, various knowledge in all values, and meaning he values knowledge in all fields. Then Vedajnaha, he knew the spiritual texts rooted in the timeless wisdom. And he was a master of all sciences, understood both theory and practice. And he was Tattvajnaha, he knew the truth. He meaning always used to seek the deeper meaning and absolute reality of the universe. Was self-realized. That is the intellectual and spiritual mastery. This one means, Vidwan means lifelong learning. Emotional intelligence, Atmavan, that is a classic example of the modern researchers. Vedajnaha in the modern world means mastery of scriptures. Methavi means system of thinking, solving complex global challenge. It's still relevant. Then the theme 3, mastery of the mind and heart, like controls his anger, stays calm even when provoked. That is Rama. Like happy for others' success. You can see that several times in Ramayana. He never gives up, stays strong during the tough times, like exile, like and even crossing the ocean. Then he always thinks big, like never pretty small-minded. He always used to think big. And the second one is he forgave even the enemies. One example, Kaikeyi. He was so much love for Kaikeyi, even after doing all these things. Absolutely no ego. Despite of prince or an incarnation, he was always grounded. Then social virtues and compassion. He cared for all beings. He was grateful always at heart, full of compassion. He was a true friend like Sugriva, Vibhishana, Guha, and he was the beloved of all. Earned respect, not through titles, but because of his actions. Then theme 5, divine beauty of Rama. He was perfectly beautiful, like body was beautiful, everything was broad-chested, symbolized the strength to protect others. Graceful limbs combined the power, sun-like radiance inspired the hope wherever he went. Divine fragrance, his presence uplifted everyone. So these are the divine beauties of Rama. Then excellence of Rama. One is unshaken by even devas. Like when Varuna was angry with him, he was not afraid, because as long as you are dharmic, you don't need to worry about anything. Then unstoppable speed. He can go lightning speed and get things done. And he was ever victorious. Nobody evil cannot defeat him. And he had always forgiveness, chama, and beyond compare. Like he always set standard for the ideal, and nobody could even come second. And finally, courageous, faced the most powerful force at that time. And this is Rama. And this is what is described by Maharshi Narada. So this is the summary of the perfect human in 32 virtues. So Narada describes Rama using 32 divine human excellences, providing that the true greatness requires both spiritual wisdom and worldly capacity. So these two was ideally blended in Rama. And leadership is measured by the dharma, the conformance to dharma, not just the power. That is the second lesson. The third one is the perfection lies in balance, right? He is fierce against the evil, but compassionate to all. So the takeaway is the Rama, the ideal human being, is not just a warrior king, but a complete blueprint for the ideal excellence, relevant even today in the 21st century. And Narada's proof is he lists from the memory to Valmiki, showing that Rama's impact was unforgettable. And virtues interlock like cosmic algorithm. Forgiveness plus fearlessness is transformative justice. This is what the commentator tells. And this is what today what we wanted to cover. The third theme, third lesson. And now what we need to cover is, after describing who is the ideal human being, in the next set of shlokas in the first sarga of the Valmiki Ramayana, Narada summarizes the entire Ramayana to Valmiki. And that is what we will cover in the next class. And after that, we will go back to Adhyatma Ramayana and talk about that conversation between Shiva and Parvati, just for the sake of completeness. And then we will go to the Balakanda's regular topic. So let's listen to the two prayers. First is Rama's Dhyanam, and finally the shloka.
ध्यायेदाजानुबाहुं धृतशरधनुषं बद्धपद्मासनस्थं पीतं वासोवसानं नवकमलदलस्पर्धिनेत्रं प्रसन्नं वामाङ्गारूढ सीतामुखकमलमिलल्लोचनं नीरदाभं नानालङ्कारदीप्तं दधतमुरुजटामण्डनं रामचन्द्रम्. श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने